How's it going, everyone? You're watching The Green Dream Project. Jim here. For anyone that might be new here, I'm going to talk a little bit about our story, what we're doing out here, and then I got a question. I got a question for anyone that's viewing this. It has to do with the future of the channel, so I appreciate you sticking around. My wife Jessica and I lived in Arizona for the better part of a decade. Just recently, we've made steps and we moved to southeast Arizona. We bought 40 acres of land out in the high desert of Cochise County. There's absolutely nothing out here. There was fencing on two sides, but no well, no septic, no structures of any kind. We've been living out here now for a little over a year. And during that time, we've tried to create a healthier, more self-sustaining life for ourselves out here. Moving out here, living off-grid, trying to start a homestead, it's been something we've been dreaming about for years. Maybe close to a decade, almost as long as we've been living in Arizona. And finally, we had the opportunity to make that happen. We came out here with not too many skills. We're not carpenters, we're not plumbers, we're not electricians. We're a couple of artists with certificates in permaculture design. That being said, in the time leading up to this, I tried to bump up as many skills as I could, doing work projects around our house, trying to build things myself, trying to fix problems with our plumbing, with our electrical. It hasn't given me the skills to tackle all the projects, but it's given me the confidence to try. And that's part of what it's all about when you're trying something like this, is getting the confidence to try. Because just getting out there, doing the work, you always surprise yourself on what you can do. But it all starts with trying. So let's take a look and let's just see some of the things that we've done out here so far this year. One of our first projects was digging out gray water basins. We needed some place for the water in our trailers to go. Sink water, shower water. We wanted that to be used for a purpose. So we came out here, we dug some basins, laid some pipes, and that all goes to feed the trees we planted out here. It was one of the first digging projects that we did out here. And it set loose a whole slew of new digging projects. We put up a little greenhouse. As you can see, it's seen better days. The wind and the sun out here are just absolutely devastating. Now we knew that when we bought this thing, we knew that it was only going to be a temporary solution to something that more permanent that we needed. It did okay for us, keeping our plants alive and being able to start some things. But as you can see, it is on its last legs. This thing has had better days. It's lasted one season, it is tore up. It just looks defeated. This thing is hanging on by strings. But we're going to be building something bigger, stronger, much more lasting. Definitely want to stick around for that. One of the first projects we did after moving out here, something we had to take care of ASAP, was dealing with our own waste. And as such, we built a humanure compost bin. And it's just kind of been a catch-all compost bin. Not only does the humanure go in there, but then also food scraps as well. And we'll eventually turn that into rich, healthy soil. I added a roof going over the entire structure. We've been able to capture a little bit of rainwater off of that. 160 square feet, not too bad, and we got 50 gallons during the last rainfall. Pretty exciting. Not a lot to some people, but for us, it's huge. We also needed power out here. Now I know some people go off grid and they make a good go out of it without electricity, but here in the high desert, we get a lot of sun. Investing in solar was just a really good plan for us. But before we installed the solar, we had to have a place to house the equipment. I was going to build a little shack just to put the equipment in there, but then Jessica said, hey, why don't we build a bigger shed that we can use so I can do some work in there, we can house the equipment, and we can maybe use it for storing other things. So what we did was we built an 8-foot by 16-foot fiber adobe shed. It has a timber frame structure, but we filled it out with a combination of adobe and shredded paper for the walls. Technically, it's still not done. We still need to fill in some of the cracks, put together an outer layer, but some of the other projects has taken away from doing the finishing on this, but it's still holding up really well. And pretty soon, I'm gonna get gutters up along this thing and we'll be catching water off of that as well. To become energy efficient, we had to put together and install a photovoltaic system. I built a rack for our panels, did the wiring into the shed, had a good friend come out, help us finish off that install, and now we have all the power we could want. It's not unlimited, for sure, but it does incredibly well for us. We started up a garden, and we've designed this garden with a few things in mind. And that is one, using less water, more efficient growing techniques for the desert. We've designed it to mitigate all the sun. A lot of plants, they like full sun, but they don't like full-on desert sun. Trust me on this. Plus, we're in the middle of nowhere. There are a lot of things that would love to get in here and start munching on some of the things we are growing. So it's these things that we've had to kind of design for. That's why this thing looks like Fort Knox. But it's coming along really well. The way we have to build it, it's a little slow going because it involves, guess what? More digging. But it's coming along. Things are growing. We're very excited to finally get some food growing out here. Of course, now this brings us back to the beginning. One of the bigger projects I undertook was building a 2,200 square foot rain roof. Now, when we came out here with a couple members of Jessica's family who are no longer with us. Now, I don't mean they're dead. They're going on with their own lives doing other things. But I designed this as kind of a area where people could gather, people could hang outside, spend time together. Now it will have a lot of other uses. And it's been a godsend. One, because we've been able to spend more time outside, just using the shade. The shade does so much around here to help keep us cool. It will also be used to collect water. As you can see behind me, we got one of our first flush totes out here. We recently had those rains, and we got to see how well that roof collects water and fills those up. Pretty soon I will have the plumbing done up to the main tanks, and we will be that much closer to being self-sufficient on our water needs. It's very exciting times. So with that being said, I have a question. So we've been making YouTube videos now for about 1.5 years. Of that 1.5 years, we've probably been making daily videos now for close to a year. And it's been a blast. I've really enjoyed it. But here's the thing. We've really been trying to push the quality and the content in our videos to that next level. So we're a little bit torn. We love making these daily videos, but we want to increase the quality of the content we're putting out there. So we kind of want to hear from you guys. What would you like to see? Do you like seeing us every day in the morning? Or do you prefer maybe seeing how far we can push the content, seeing the kind of quality we can put out? We're thinking of moving maybe to 3 videos a week, and maybe we'll start doing some more lives. So definitely leave those opinions down below. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Now as such, because we've been making YouTube videos and we've become really part of a YouTube community, I just want to say a few thank yous to some people that have been amazing supporters of our channel, that sent us some things that have been amazing. First, Mr. Dan, Home in the Sticks. We got those true blue collard seeds. Thank you very much, sir. We can't wait to get those in the ground. That should be very cool to try and grow those out here. We're very excited. Second, a little channel called Contentment, E-Chip and Robber. They just recently made their move off-grid into Colorado. They sent us a jar of preserves. I'd show it to you, but it's already gone. It didn't last long. Thank you very much, Contentment. Alright, and last, but most certainly not least, is our friend over at Elf Lord's Journeys. Now, if you've been following our channel for a little bit, you know we've recently lost a chicken. Elf Lord is a good friend of ours. We like watching his channel and the beautiful art he makes and the incredible journeys he goes on. And he just sent us a little token of his appreciation. He made a little portrait of our dearly departed chicken. That's a beautiful painting, Elf. We really love it. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Alright, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you listening to our story. And definitely, if you have any thoughts on how you'd like to see us proceed with this channel, please leave those down below. We want to hear about that. And don't forget, you can check out these other amazing channels I mentioned. We'll leave their links down below. Go check them out. You might like what you see. Alright, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll catch you on the next video.